they said, it would be better off if Jeff was not part of us. So I got the can out the door, and I found a great
I
clinic.
rode through him. I was with him
That's right.
during this time, and it's funny when the company is so big that there's like this one is, and you're a gem for them. And it was I know, but it was great how the people around you were like, we're going over here.
Right. Oh, they did. When I left, they took me a little while to modify the non-compete, but they left. But the bottom line is this, that there are some really great doctors at these clinics. By the way, some of my favorite doctors are part of either Thrive or Access, which is Thrive, or VCA. There's a new one out there. So what's happening is you need to just be careful. There's one new entity out there, and it's hip, it's cool, it's very modern, it's pretty. But a couple of things that I don't like about it. Number one, you don't always get to see your vet, because a lot of young veterinarians now are more comfortable not being part of a practice by doing what's called relief. They want to work one day here, one another over there. Why? For that given day, they actually make more money than they would if they were getting just their salary.
Right.
And also, more importantly, they have no headaches. They have no HR to worry about. They have no scheduling to worry about. They have no inventory control to worry about. They don't have to worry about insurance, utilities. They just come in. They don't want to even own. They're doing so well just by being a relief. But that was so anti my philosophy, because my philosophy is, I don't care about what I do today. My goal and what I'm proud of, what I consider success, is that I have clients like you, Mike, that have been with me for 20 years.
Yeah.
And I am now seeing the grandchildren of some of my early clients from the early 80s.
I love that.
So it's like you become part of their family.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been invited to family parties, to weddings, right? And their doctor's not there, their dentist's not there, but they invited their veterinarian.
So it still is one of the main things is the veterinarian. If he gets down there, he's with the dog, and you trust that veterinarian over and over again. You got to
trust, right? And just know that the motivation is not how much money can I make on you today. The motivation is how can I heal your pet, earn your trust, and then they become yours forever.
Yeah.
And that's it. But unfortunately, I'm truly a dinosaur, not because I am one, but from a philosophical perspective. So just know that there are really great doctors at a lot of these places. Try to, if you're interested in building a relationship with your vet, just make sure you can do that. And if it means they're only there 2 days a week, make sure you only go there 2 days a week. But it can be done. But my biggest fear is that they really like to spend your money.
That's one of the big ones, and we want to do that. And most likely, most of us that are pet owners will pay whatever that is asked.
Of course.
Try to get in early. Try to get those basic check-ins going, and so you do build that trust to when it does come to a situation like these cute little stuffed animals that he brought over for me. I'm a kid at heart, but I'm not going to take these from you. What is this about?
I don't know if you can see them up close and personal, but they have a couple of things in common. They're different renditions of a teddy bear, but more importantly, and sadly, they were both extracted from dogs' intestines. So they were purchased for the intent of just a little playful, cute little toy. And it turned out that they were still very cute, but not a good choice. And anyway, that's what I had to do.
And something like this that's $5 or $10 to buy, nothing.
Right.
Now you're taking your dog to
a vet
and it's $5,000 to $10,000.
Yeah. Well, they were quoted. This one was quoted $14,000 at one of those specialty clinics. $14,000.
And is that because they have to open and go in?
I did the same
also
thing.
On top of that, it's a specialty?
It's a specialty. And they're just in general, they're very, very, very expensive. So anyway, now just be careful. Anything that you think Is it possible the dog can get a hold of? Whether you think he will or not, that's not the
Right.
Is it possible? And if it is, do not leave them alone with these toys. And now these are cute little toys. Even the same way with dog toys, dog bones. If it's the wrong size, for example, for the wrong dog, that could be a problem.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
I thought any bone would be fine for.
No. Because what happens is if it's too small, they'll eat the whole thing, the bone whole, and it'll get lodged someplace. I've taken many, or they get lodged in the esophagus, and that's a disaster. So you really have to know, and also make sure that the toys that you give them, if they are edible, that if they should swallow them whole, that they are truly digestible. Okay, because if they get stuck in the stomach,
I would think this could make it through.
you think.
I would think it could. Let me try.
But here's what happens. So then they get, this is there, it's going through, and they eat something, and then the ingest is going through, and now it circles and it surrounds this. The clump that I took out of these dogs
wasn't just that.
Oh, no.
It was everything
it was
blocked
covered in
up.
all sorts of stuff. Then I ran it under water, and I cleaned it all
Found
up.
the jewel.
And this is the cute little thing. This is what I got out of this. How adorable. Well, anyway, will they make that mistake again? Probably not.
So this is great because we're coming into Thanksgiving. And I always kind of just check myself when it comes to bones again. That the bones that split like a chicken bone.
Oh, poultry bones, chicken, turkey, they are really dangerous for dogs because
these are no-nos.
No-nos, because not only they split, when they do, they crack, leaving sharp edges. In fact, that's why when people call and say, my dog got a hold of the turkey or the chicken bone, we don't induce vomiting. Because if they already got it down, they made it through the esophagus. That's the most difficult part to retrieve it a foreign body from, and the most sensitive to being torn. So because that runs in the neck and the chest. That means if you have a tear in the esophagus and you want to get to it, you got to crack the chest. That's a major, major problem. So the chicken bones, turkey bones are definitely
don't risk it. So red meat.
Red meat is okay.
The T-bone is always
but not too
good.
fatty.
Okay.
Those big round knuckle bones.
Yeah.
They're not dangerous, but you know what happens? How they do it, I have no idea. It comes up like this. You got the fangs up here, right?
Oh no!
So it comes over here, and then it wraps around the jaw, and then it comes into there, and that thing is literally locked in there, and it takes a lot, and then the whole face gets swollen because of it. Now you're trying. So the face is bigger than it was when they first ate it or tried to eat it. Anyway, it's a disaster. We can get them off, but it takes a lot of finesse.
So be smart when it comes to food.
Oh, also bone marrow is very fatty. So
that the bones have marrow is good.
Marrow is good for us.
Okay.
But for dogs, it's like it's too much fat. So I would try to avoid that. I mean, if you want to feed a bone, and another thing, a new thing, this is even beyond my time, and that is now, since veterinary dentistry is a specialty, you can go to a board certified veterinary dentist, that they are very much against these hard bones. Why? Because they're seeing a lot of cracked teeth.
Oh, wow.
These dogs are gnawing and gnawing.
Right.
And believe it or not, some of those bones are stronger than their teeth, and the teeth crack. So again, there are.
I would think
so
that would be so not a dog thing.
Right. But you think about what dogs did in nature. They ate everything. But no, some of these bones are really, really hard. So again, somebody be careful of that. The skin of the turkey is not a good thing. But you think about being lodged in the intestine. One thing, and I know you and I have talked about this, but I'll bring it up again because it's so important. One of the most common things that we have to do surgery for after Thanksgiving or Christmas or any of these holidays is because of corn bones, the corn cob. The corn cob, it's that perfect diameter,
right,
to make it through the esophagus, into the stomach, out of the stomach into the intestine, and then somewhere along that intestine, it's going to come to a dead stop. And so if you're going to eat your corn.
I got to tell Mo this because Romania, where she grew up, that corn that is huge over there.
Oh, yeah. No. Hey, it's great. So when you finish all the corn off that cob.
Don't give the end to them.
Yeah, throw it in a very secure garbage. Don't leave it on your plate. And also when you have all these guests coming over, which is great, you want to make sure that they know that some of the things on this table are a hazard. It's too rich, too many. If it has raisins or grapes, it has chocolate. You got to be too much fat, nuts. So a lot of these rich foods that we're bringing over, when you're invited over and you're bringing your cobbler or your pie.
Not everything's for the dogs as well.
Right.
You said something earlier that hit home with me. My house is like the UN. People are coming in and out of here 24/7. But I also have huskies and this little timber wolf, and their prey drive is whatever is outside is so much more important than me,
right?
And how I treat them. So that being said, we've rarely ever used the front door. We have a 2-entrance protocol for our house to where you have to come in one door,
right,
shut it, come through another door to enter the house. And that way, these dogs never even have a chance to run.
Right.
And I've experienced my pups, Striker, getting away from me. And you guys at home, you may know your dogs and stuff, but sometimes that front door and
right, and it's going to happen because dogs sometimes get nervous, they get stressed out, they get anxious. All these people coming in and out, and there's loud noises, and sometimes your guests are maybe getting a little tipsy. Speaking of which, dogs do like alcohol. Many of them do. So you got to be really. Oh, yes, they do.
First thing I want to see my dog's drunk.
Believe me.
Sorry.
So here I am.
Just kidding. I'm not going
to. I was at. I went to Berkeley undergrad, and I'm at a frat party, and I had my dog with me. Went to school with me. His name was Thor. This magnificent.
Just see you at Berkeley, this handsome fella,
and this beautiful black Labrador, 100 pounds. And I took him to a frat party, and he's running around, and people are petting him. And all of a sudden, I hear a lot of hooping and hollering. And I go over and they say, "Check this out!" And apparently, one of the guys was talking, and his big beers in a big 16-ounce cup.
This is a good story.
And he feels the slop all over his head. He looks down, and there's my dog lapping up his beer. Well, instead of shooing him away, he thought it was so funny. His other friends were coming up. Before you know it.
So the dog had about 8 beers that night.
I did see what it's like to have a drunk dog. In fact, at one point they needed a new keg, the pump. So they sent me over to one of the other houses nearby. And I said, Thor, come on. So he's running, and we have to make a right turn. So here's a tree, and here's the turn. And I'm kind of running to get it. I make that right turn quickly, and he tried to make the right turn. Right into the tree. Oh God!
This is like Jackass.
It was so great. Funny. But anyway, alcohol is potentially dangerous to dogs. So don't think it's cute.
So even though that was a great story, that's about as much you want to know.
You're right. That's all I needed to see once. I lived it. Never again. So make sure your dog has their ID tags. Make sure they're microchipped. In fact, one thing that I have for my dogs, which is great, I got one of these collars. That is GPS. It's an activity monitor and a GPS. It's called Fi, and it is fantastic. Now, you know what it also does? You can set it. There's a setting where let's say you say 200 yards. If the dog goes beyond 200 yards. I was
going to get my chips. Jeffrey got me the chips.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
If it goes beyond 200 yards, it signals you, it warns you on your phone.
Okay.
So it's so cool. Right. So, you're not watching your dog every minute. But this will tell you if your dog gets too far away, 100 yards, 200 feet, whatever you want to set it. Just whatever is beyond your house, your property,
that's great.
It'll go off. That's great.
That's great. Jeffrey, let's finish with some questions here. You got anything?
What about chicken feet?
Chicken feet.
Regarding bones?
Yeah, they are very small.
They're small but sharp.
Right? Exactly. I would avoid anything that is sharp because those little nails, they're pretty sharp. Size-wise, I think that's okay, but I do worry about the sharpness.
Okay.
So sharp edges. What else we got?
What else do we got, Jeffrey?
A lot of
guys that just tuned in. This is Dr. Jeff Warburg, my vet, but also some incredible people out there. World renowned
I don't know about
What
that.
about those bone marrow treats, like the pedigree marrow treats?
Okay, so it's a marrow treat. Those are usually balanced. A lot of times you have to understand this is marketing, so
Right.
people know. So it may be marrow, but it's treated down, so it's not as fatty. And
What would be a bone marrow treat? Because I always get those little round bones with the bit of marrow in the middle.
yeah, if it's dog friendly, it's going to be fine.
Okay.
Now, one of the things also is that you can get the company, I believe, is called Smart Bone or Dream Bone, something like that. They look exactly like rawhide. They get the bones with the knots on the end. You get the sticks, but they are all edible.
Okay.
So they're completely 100% digestible. They chew just like the real rawhide deal. But the difference is that they are edible. They can chew them up. They can swallow them. It can take some hours to chew it up. So it's exactly what you want.
One of these.
But Smart Bones, yeah, one of those. So I really
Right
like
there,
that
guys.
company because they do. They're very, very safe, and my dogs love them.
I love it. I love it. Let's go with one more. You got another good one? Also, anything from his IG? Question. What food do
What
you?
foods do we avoid giving for cats?
Mm,
The cats, well, cats are obligate carnivores. So if you are the type of person that wants your dog to be vegetarian or a vegan, it can be done. But what I always say to these people, we need to be careful not to anthropomorphize. That's to bring your own personal philosophy
Yeah.
into your dogs because they're not you. So just because you want to be grain-free, don't think your dog needs to be grain-free. In fact, it's proven now that's not good to be grain-free for dogs. If you want to be a vegan, don't let it. A very simple test at home. I want you to go and you create your best vegetarian or vegan meal on the planet that you know your guests love. Okay? Put it in a dog bowl. Then I want you to take some meat and put it in the dog bowl and put them both right next to each other on the floor and call your dog over. Let's see which one your dog attacks first. So we got to give them what they like. And so as far as foods for
That's
cats,
not going to work with people. You put some protein and some steak, and then you put cake over on this one.
that's right.
They're going to go to the
They
cake.
go to the cake or ice cream. in my case.
Yeah.
So for cats have to eat meat. But what's interesting because I have a lot of cats. Some of them like dry food, which is fine. Some of them I prefer mixed feeding. I do a little of both. But I'll feed them a little canned food in the morning, and then I'll put some dry later on at night. I'll feed the dry, but I put some canned on top of it. But there's no one food that's right for every cat, and there's no one brand that's good for everybody or every pet. So you have to kind of see what they like. But just remember, cats need to have meat and that or fish. It's got to be animal-based protein because they cannot make their own taurine, and which is an amino acid. It's a sulfur amino acid. It's made by dogs. It's a combination of cysteine and methionine, and they can make taurine. So we have to have diets for cats that are high in taurine. So and that's important.
I love it.
Let's wrap it. These last two right here. Thoughts on raw food for dogs, please.
Okay, so raw, it's a great question. I'm personally not a big fan, but I did have a raw product on the market called Optimum. And why I was okay with it is because there are bacteria. The big four are Campylobacter, Listeria, Salmonella, and E. coli. Those can be very, very detrimental to your dogs, and they are very high in raw meats. So
That makes sense.
So what I liked,
So it's not the fact that raw might be good. It's
Right.
chances that
So-
you're getting it good every
so
single time.
How do you take raw and make it safe?
Yeah.
One of two ways. Number one is called HPP, high pressure pasteurization. Pasteurization, like for example, a lot of dairy products is heat pasteurized, which destroys a lot of the nutrients. Then what they do is they put it back in afterwards. But if you use high pressure pasteurization, it kills the bacteria via the high pressure, but it doesn't destroy the nutrients. Okay. And the other thing that you've seen a lot in market, freeze dried. So freeze dried, same thing. It is raw. It's quickly freeze dried. It kills the bacteria, the bad bacteria, and it's good. What I did with my Optimum is, I wish we still had it in the market, but we don't. We use both HPP and freeze dried. Then we would take every batch and culture it to make sure it wasn't growing Listeria, Campylobacter, E. coli, and Salmonella, and that when it came back negative, we would package it. So raw itself it's now,
you're making the very best, but it's probably the price was
right.
cutting it.
But now there are a lot of raw foods that are okay, but if you don't know that, so therefore you need to either trust your source or do something that's going to kill off the bad bacteria. And by the way, one more thing, there are a lot of dog intestines that can handle it and they don't get sick from it. So, but you don't know. That's like raisins and grapes.
Yeah.
Not every dog has this toxicity to grapes or raisins, but we can't tell. There's no test to tell which ones have it, which ones don't. And since they're so possibly terrible for the
risk
kidneys,
ain't worth it.
it's not worth it. So we just blanketly say no raisins, no grapes.
Great question, though. Great question.
Pumpkin pie for the dog.
Ooh.
Oh, well, pumpkin is good. In fact, it's interesting. The pumpkin puree is good for dogs in moderation. And in fact, when dogs have colitis and they need added fiber to the diet, one of the things I recommend is like a teaspoon of pumpkin. But the pie probably has too much sugar and it's usually covered in whipped cream. So there are other things that may not be good, but pumpkin itself, don't get me wrong, is fine for dogs.
But for us, we're definitely having pumpkin pie.
Yeah, having the pumpkin pie.
Yeah, we're going to have some pumpkin pie this year.
A lot of people are asking questions about the raw food.
Yeah.
That's a great question. Great question.
Yeah.
Is there a difference between a raw diet and a cooked diet?
Well, when we cook
You
foods,
clarify it.
yeah, we are usually getting rid of those bacteria. So raw diets don't. You want to go through one process that will at least curb the amount of those bad bacteria.
So the cooking would be a good idea.
Oh yeah. Oh, if you absolutely.
Great question again. Nice job, guys.
Mm-hmm.
What else we got?
We got one more banger to finish it up. And we got a load of people in here. Thanks for hanging out today, guys. I'm glad
Any
you
questions on
appreciate
mine?
this.
The pumpkin pie
Okay.
from yours. I've got backyard cats. If they have the sniffles, should I stay away from them?
Okay. Cats are notorious for the respiratory diseases. Most of them they are viral. The pneumonitis called chlamydia is the only one that's a bacteria, but rhinotracheitis and calicivirus, they are viruses. So you don't have to worry at all. You're not going to get anything from your cat. Maybe
I
ringworm.
thought you were going to tell me about some
Ringworm.
Berkeley stories and some colitis and something a little crazy. And
So you can get ringworm from your cat. You can get some parasites, but as far as those diseases, respiratory diseases, I wouldn't have to worry that much. There was a fear with all these viruses going around. Could people get it? Even COVID back in the day and influenza. So, but a lot of these influenza viruses, by the way, that are affecting people were started with avian and H3N8 virus, the H3N2 virus. There are cases that people that are working with these birds are getting some of the influenza viruses. Wow. But that is because the dose is so high.
Right.
So little sniffles in a backyard cat, a stray cat, I wouldn't worry. Maybe I would keep your cats away from them, but for many other reasons. But as far as the respiratory bugs, your cat could get it, but I don't think you have to worry.
There we go. Thank you guys for hanging out today, man. I appreciate it. We got a couple shows that are coming out here in the next, we'll get a show out here before Thanksgiving that I think is some great information for you guys. And we'll put down below two things. How they can get a hold of you,
right,
and talk to Dr. Jeff Werber. And if you want to ask questions, he has an app that helps you guys out on us parents that have those kind of questions at 2 a.m. when your dog throws up. Instead of rushing them over to the emergency room, this app will help you.
Right, AirVet. You can download it. It's great. And also, for those of you who have a lot of questions for your pets, I don't know if you don't follow me. I'm on Instagram. I'm Werbs. That's my nickname since I'm a little kid. _DVM, Doctor of Veterinary Medicine. And I have a show it's an Instagram Live every Sunday morning at 9 o'clock in the West, noon in the East. and it's a live show, live questions. So if you follow me on Instagram, you'll get an alert as my show starts at 9 on the West, and you'll hop on and ask away your questions. I've gotten a lot.
Is that Airvet?
Yep, that's AirVet.
There we go. We will put this information also down below too, guys, so you'll be able to see this when this goes up and live here as Jeffrey loads it up. And also right there is a link on over to AirVet.
Yep.
Vet.
AirVet. Yep.
All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out.